Greetings, my brothers and sisters. One and all. I would like to welcome the world of OMOS.
Okay, so I completely ruined the map, but I think I got it in a somewhat working order. But, I mean, you guys can't see it, so that's besides the point. Anyway, so are you guys ready to start off there?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Tap, you ready?
Right, awesome. Tapioca.
Pudding.
Alright, okay.
Okay.
So Casimir's got a shot voice, I guess, so he's not talking at the moment. Alright, so I guess here we go. Alright, so just to catch things up real quick. Yeah, that's what I'm exactly gonna do. So, last time we were playing, let me see. Last time we left off, you guys, Farron, Maza, Po-jem, and Casimir, the four of you are working for the organization known as the Pages, and you were given a specific job. You guys were given a contract saying that the shipment of books was going to arrive in Valishbor and make its way to a city, a town called Fort Nightfall. You guys decided to jump the gun real quick, see if you could get the job finished earlier than, expected, but unfortunately failed to find the correct carriage filled full of books. So ended up losing the carriage in that process. But as a unforeseen event, you guys ended up lying, then befriending one of the carriage drivers named Hannibal Green, who ended up introducing you to his arcane uncle, Olav Orbmaster. You guys had some questions that were given half answers. That may or may not affect whatever the future holds. But waking up the morning after, seemingly from whatever darkness seeped into the city's walls, you guys went on a short shopping trip. Seemed to make a deal with a rather crass goblin on the edge of the bazaar, selling you a mysterious item and so on, and whatnot. But you guys decided to make way, rented a horseman cart, and headed outside of Valishbor's walls towards Fort Nightfall and wherever else it would take you. So currently it's about 10 in the morning, and you guys find yourselves you guys are not in a building at the moment. Actually, you guys are in a carriage, Casimir, that you had to struggle to catch up to as they were just about to leave.
Can you give me
you guys remember that?
2 seconds for a second?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Was that Sam? Hello?
I think so.
Okay, alright. Right. So, I might as well just explain it to Tapioca or Casimir here. So, yeah, so Casimir, you had to run and catch up to the car and were able to hop in right before they left Valishbor. So, you made it in with Farron, Maza, and Po-jem. So, I believe you guys were all sitting in the back except for Maza. I think you said you were walking at the side of the cart, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so you guys have just left the city, and I'd say it's probably you guys are probably like a couple hours in right now. So it's like around noon. Yeah, you guys can see that past the walls of Valishbor, it's largely just forest, pretty much. Not immediately closing on the road. There are some clearings, large pastures of grass and whatnot, but it is mainly just a forested area. You can see the mountains out in the distance, but the road travels past that. The road is basically traveling, I'm going to say, northeast, and the mountains are in the complete opposite direction. But yeah, so you guys are traveling that way so far. Was there anything you guys wanted to do?
Northeast. We're heading.
Yes, you guys are traveling northeast. Apparently, this is where Fort Nightfall is located. Hannibal Green did mention that the travel was going to take 3 days. 3 days and 2 nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So, was there anything you guys wanted to do?
well, we would have informed Casimir that this is Hannibal Green, our new friend, the carriage driver we saved when whoever was at that point attacking him and his guard friends. What was that?
Nothing. Sorry.
Alright, yeah, so you do notice that Casimir's clothes are torn. They're quite torn and messy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Casimir, where were you? You kind of just disappeared.
I'm actually studying Casimir.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I'm trying to deduce what happened just by looks alone. So can I make an investigation check?
You can make an investigation, insight, or perception check. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, each will render different types of information.
I'll go for investigation.
Go for it, please.
Got a 17.
Beautiful. All right. So, looking at Casimir up and down, studying the torn clothes and the strange stains across, you can tell that the stains themselves are blood. It's definitely dried blood at this point. It's somehow just kind of the word's not clotted, but it's coagulated and whatnot. It's just dried on, just clumped up into his clothes. And is there the cleanest face on his person is probably his hands and his face. Seemingly he probably washed them, but the clothes seem torn to the point where it's like there's really no point for him to be wearing them. He might as well be in prison rags. But yeah, so that's all the information you can gain from that investigation. But it's up to your own interpretation of how you think he came upon that.
Right. And it's obvious that, well, when you left us, things did not get better for you. This is obvious. Perhaps, I don't imagine you attacked. You may have attacked someone, but someone who was potentially in your way and a threat. Otherwise, you maybe bumped into some guards? An old acquaintances. You bumped into old acquaintances. And it wasn't a good meeting. Yes, that's it.
As you say this, you hear chuckling from the driver's seat of the cart. Hannibal Green just kind of like, chokes down a laugh. All right. Casimir seems nervous, obviously nervous. Let me see. Maza, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Maza, could you please make a perception check?
Oh, great. Excellent at those.
So
You can. Okay, awesome. No, that's a persuasion check.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, please. Oh, that's even better.
All right. Well, that's okay. No problem. So this is easier for you because you're not you're outside of the cart and you're not as involved in the conversation that Po-jem and Casimir are having. So looking about, you can you notice that there seems to be this lingering fog that carries itself throughout the forests in the distance, at least still, even though it's around noontime. It's not particularly thick, but you do notice it. Yeah.
Can I try to assess the nature of the fog? Why it's hanging around?
Sure, make a nature check.
Oof. Nature. Ooh, my best skill.
All right, so that was a 14. Hey, listen, you're selling yourself short here, okay? 14 is still pretty good, especially with a +1 modifier. Okay. So with the nature check, you can tell in general that it did just turn into spring, so the weather is still kind of chilly. But it's not entirely normal or natural for it. By the time the sun hits its peak, for that morning mist to still be hanging around. So it's ominous at best. Or weird. I'd say it's weird at best. Ominous at worst. Or actually, well, yeah, pretty much.
How thick is it?
It's not like anything to obscure your vision or anything like that. Like it's like when it gets rather cloudy and then this kind of mist descends. But you can still see it. You can still see everything perfectly fine. It's just hanging around, particularly in the forested areas. But it somewhat does, blow over the road. But it doesn't affect your vision too bad. It just blocks out the sunlight.
So it's misty, but not foggy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Soft haze.
Yes, that would be a good description. It's not thick. It's not encumbering in any sense. Yeah, but it does add an extra chill in the air that is, not welcome. All right.
Can I
so yeah. Mm-hmm.
see anything that's causing the fog?
From where you are, you can't really see anything if it's a person or some kind of object that's causing this. It just seems to be a natural phenomenon at the moment. Yeah, but past that, do you guys do anything for the next couple hours before you set up a camp?
Yes, I actually talked to Hannibal Green, and I just...
Mm-hmm.
What is the nearest settlement to us right now?
He kind of brushes his hand through the kind of wiry neckbeard he has going on, and kind of like combs out his mustache, and he says, well, if I'm correct, it should be about a day and a half's journey. We'll get to. Oh, sorry about that. Something was in my ear. He says, if I'm correct, a day and a half through, we should get to Stonebridge. But do you guys want to stop off at that town?
At Stonebridge?
Stonebridge.
Well,
It's like a small fishing village.
I would think perhaps that would be, yeah, like tapiocas. But here's my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
None of us is the great warrior of the road or anything, so perhaps we should, well before nightfall, find a defendable position to set up camp, so we're not caught out in the open.
No worries. I was thinking about the same thing. Unfortunately, I had to take a different route to get to Stonebridge. It seems like a small flood must have taken out the other road, toppling trees on there and such. So we won't have any access to a post station. But yeah, we'll have to make do.
Okay, I suggest to everyone keep your eye out for a well-defendable spot where we can hopefully survive the night.
He says, usually if we ever set up camp, we try to do it actually within the woods, so we're not on the open of the road. It's well, in my opinion, it's worse to be out in the open than hiding under some trees.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. And he kind of gestures to you, Maza, and he says, he says, so how is it that a devil like yourself finds yourself in a company of 2 elves and a man?
As soon as he said devil, my expression kind of drops a bit and becomes more hardened. Don't worry about it.
Alright. Didn't mean to pry or anything. Alright. And he turns back to you, Po-jem, and he says, so then I guess same question here. So, how did you guys find yourselves together?
Well, first let me correct you. My acquaintance is not a devil. Trust me, if a devil was in our midst, you would be the first one to know. So please,
yeah.
Please be careful how you address people. It's only polite.
He puts his hand up to his chest and he's like, "Oh, my apologies. It's just well, with the horns, the tail, and the colored skin and all, it's a little bit of and he kind of cuts himself off and he just for a moment, and he's just like, excuse my language. Sorry about that."
Whatever. I'm used to it.
But you shouldn't have to be.
Appreciate your chivalry.
Well, chivalry has nothing to do with it. It's when it comes right down to it, we are all part of this great story. And I see value in all beings. Something to know. Something to learn.
Hannibal laughs again, and he'll like mutter something under his breath.
Like our friend Hannibal Green here. How did one such as yourself end up driving carriages that get attacked by people? I mean, there must be easier jobs.
He goes, yeah, there are easier jobs, but there's none better paying than burning illegal books. Yeah, I pick up jobs here and there. I'm more of a jack of all trades, if I could say so. Probably a 10 of spades, actually, but... Alright. He kind of turns back and says, so did anyone spot anything yet?
Nothing.
If you guys want to make perception checks to see if, you find something of a defendable area. Wow.
Well, if we
Jeez, okay.
you had advantage, we'd be killing it.
Yeah. Casimir unfortunately is still dazed from the night before. Even with advantage, it would not have helped. Alright. So, as you guys are looking around, Casimir, well, yeah, you're still kind of just feeling a little heavy, and you're almost like your joints and your bones are like throbbing with pain. It's not horrible, but you're just sore. So you're trying to look for something, but you're not putting in too much effort. However, for Po-jem and Maza, as you guys are looking around, you do notice notice that the tree line seems to thin out in a certain portion of the forest, and you can see what looks like almost like a large pile of like boulders, rocks, some kind of like small stone formation that seems like you guys could probably use as almost like a wall. Try like build a little campsite into the side of that would probably be effective.
Hannibal, what do you think?
Look, he looks over and he's like, well, it looks like it'll do, but I mean, if you want, we could keep looking for something else.
I find it strange, this cluster of boulders, and part of me wants to investigate a little bit. So I see no harm in camping here.
All right, okay. So he kind of pulls back the horse and like leads it into the side of the forest. All right. So you guys hop off and you head towards this little area.
Mm-hmm.
So as you get closer, you do notice it's something of like it's not exactly a cliff. It's not as large, but it looks like just like a portion of land that's just been like cut off. So it's just like a higher elevated area, almost like a hill, half a hill,
Yeah, like it's sliced in half, like sliced into the side of a hill, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, basically. Probably like if there was an earthquake or tectonic plates shift or something, then it like moves up and down. But there's a small area that seems to be somewhat clear of any vermin or anything else. You can see signs of some people may have actually been here before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I immediately get down, Po-jem just starts investigating the stones, seeing if it's a natural formation, if it was ever hewn in any way, any markings.
I just kind of
all right.
lean against the cart, keep watch.
All right, so you're gonna keep an eye out. All right. So Maza, you can make a perception check. Casimir, do you want to do anything? All right. Okay. All right. So let me just Po-jem. So as you're investigating the stones, they don't look like they've been hewn or like mined in any way. Everything looks to be pretty much natural. If there are any like cracks or any markings, it's probably from natural weathering, rain, snow, wind, that type of thing. Um, the the formation itself is definitely something of a sediment stone, so it's just kind of layered and layered on dirt, stone, and other objects. You can actually see the roots of a tree on top, actually kind of sticking out the side a little bit. Not looking like it's gonna fall over, but it's just sticking out there. Um, but with your investigation check, you do notice that whatever markings that people have been here before are fairly old. It's mainly you see like scorched firewood that is heavily damp. And it's pretty much useless at this point. Uh, you could probably spot what looks like maybe like tiny animal bones that you probably assume is from whoever's last meal, but it looks like there hasn't been any real commotion here for some time.
And I say as much to the group.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And he'll just continue just checking out the stone, has his magnifying glass up.
Sure. The Casimir asks, "Are you all hungry?"
Yeah, I can go for something.
All right.
Friend Casimir, do you have the ability to procure foods?
Sure, have fun.
Friend Casimir, before you go, seeing that you have skills in nature, perhaps you could set some snares or some traps or alarms in case people, try to sneak upon us. I've always heard that's what they do, people do when they camp. At least in troubled areas.
And yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. So, I mean, at this point, it is like it's about like 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. So how would you guys like to set up your camp? If you're gonna do it now, at least.
Beds against the rock to avoid any surprise attacks from behind.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything you can do in specific, Maza, to avoid that?
Well, I can't do much, but
I mean, well, just describe your idea. What is it that you would like to do?
well, how is the rock formed? Like, is it in like a semicircle or is it just flat?
It's pretty much just kind of like a yeah, I guess you could say it's a semicircle, but it's more like it's a wall that has a slight curve to it.
Okay. Well, I propose that we set up our beds along the wall, so that's we don't get attacked from that side. If we do get attacked, which is not certain, but never know. No, have a simple fire in the middle. We could park the wagon, cover another side, so we really only have one direction that people could come in and out of.
Okay, sure. Just letting you know, you guys are like 300, 400 feet away from the road you guys just came off of.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, okay, so you guys are going to start pitching tents. Po-jem, was there any specific way you want to set up the camp?
It's basically the idea I have is something from like I think they do it in Africa with certain tribes. They're out in the bush. They're worried about lion attacks, so they go and they find this thorny tree shrub, and they cut branches off of that, and they kind of build a wall.
Yes. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay. So go ahead, make a survival check.
I'm not good at that. I'm definitely not good at that. I'm just doing circles, and I'm saying pointy sticks with points. Sticks with points.
Yeah. So Casimir, you pretty much, or not Casimir, Po-jem, you pretty much just you don't find any brush or any branches that just have natural thorns coming out of them. So you just pick up whatever fallen over branches and limbs there are on the forest floor and just kind of pile them up.
And I would like to put some, I envisioned it, like you said, as a hill that's kind of like got a slice in it, So there's like an upper area above our campsite. I'd like to put some limbs in that upper area. Someone steps on it, there's a crunch of a stick. It gives it, a little bit of a noise.
Gotcha, sure. So you put some like dry wood up there, like just stick and stuff. Gotcha, sure.
Then my mage hand me things and place, branches.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So you guys.
They meant like body limbs, and I was concerned.
All right. So, all right, and Casimir finally. Casimir, it's gonna take you like 2 hours to actually catch what's pretty much like a baby deer, a fawn. But you're able to catch it easily enough, and you kind of rush your way over towards the camp, clean it up a little bit. You make your way over, and you guys watch as at this point the sun is on its way to setting. Casimir strolls his way into camp, kind of carrying over his shoulder a small, well, now dead deer. Kind of places it in the center of the camp, and begins. I assume he begins prepping it himself. Skinning it, cleaning, whatnot.
I start a fire with my abilities.
Yeah, no problem. Sure. I just gotta do something real quick. Cool. So you guys get the fire started, tent set up. Your quote-unquote wall of thorns and quote-unquote alarm system set up. Alright. So at this point, you guys, as you guys are setting up, Hannibal himself has, he's pitched, not pitched, well, he helped pitch a tent, and he set up his own bedroll. So he's sleeping out, and I'd say it's somewhere in the night at this point. It's around like 8 p.m. You guys have just finished eating fresh cooked venison. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think it's veal, because I think veal is for cows. But yeah, so it's venison. Yeah, okay. I was just being sure. Yeah, so just eating down on there, and it's not the tastiest thing in the world without, salt, pepper, that type of thing, but it does just, and you guys are able to sleep tonight. Yeah. So just letting you guys know, you guys are within the Tuskwood Forest. As this area is known as, just because of how sharp and straight the trees tend to grow. It just finds its name for that, as well as some of the occasional wild boar that that you may find out in the wilderness. All right. So, will you guys be taking shifts, or you guys all going out?
I'm gonna be taking first. No, I'm gonna take second watch.
I'll take first, and I'll. Oh, wait a minute. I'm trying to figure this out with Elven Trance. I only need 4 hours, so.
Yes, you only have to rest 4 hours, and then you're good for the rest of the day as a high elf, or just an elf, actually.
Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay. So Mazda decided to take the second watch. Casimir, would you want to take the first watch, last watch? It's up to you. Unless Po-jem would like to compete for whichever watch. Okay, so
I'll take. Po-jem will take last watch.
alright, sure.
The last 4 hours of the watch will be mine. Or if everybody's watch is 2 hours, that gives me my 4 hours of trance, and then everybody can sleep forever, how long they want to after that. So,
I mean, it's probably fair to say that Hannibal will also throw in his share for the watch. But yeah, okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
And whoever is on watch, I will hand them an alchemical fire, and they give it to the next person on watch, and then the next person, and so on, until it comes back to me.
Alright. So Casimir, Po-jem comes up to you and hands you this this wide glass bottle. It almost looks like a whiskey bottle, but it's filled with this thin yellowish green liquid that kind of bubbles on within, and just grabbing it, it radiates its own warmth. It's not burning or searing, but it's warm.
And sorry, quick correction. It's a vial. It's not actually that big.
Okay. All right.
I had to look it up. I wasn't sure myself. Witchcraft. No, it is not witchcraft. It is merely the application of alchemical science.
Yeah. As you're passing it around, Hannibal kind of looks over and he says, he says, "Oh, we're passing over firewater. Can I get some too?"
I pause for a second and I'm like, no.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. All right.
So what's being
good.
He says I brought my own, and he kind of takes out like a small flask and like unscrews it, and he just takes like a swig of his own alcohol or liquor, and then he puts the flask away.
Careful, don't want to pass out again.
And you don't tell me what to do, okay? Okay, so.
And before I go into my trance, I will walk out a little bit, and I'll kneel on the ground, and I'll kind of whisper along the earth. Good night, road fairies. Good night.
So as you guys go to sleep, very nice and easily. Casimir, you're up on the first shift. Remembering what you did the night before that. Traveling the Valish Boar for whatever reason it was. Your mind just kind of wanders here and there. But I need you to make a perception check. as your first person on watch.
Unlucky 7. Unlucky 7.
Okay, alright.
And Deerbone.
So, Casimir, as you're just kind of like chewing on the deer bone, you're like munching and crunching.
Oh, didn't mean to do that.
The wind blows through, and you're it doesn't, you don't mind it too much. But then in the distance, well, I'll say it's already too late, but it's not in a horrific way, but it's already too late. By the time you notice, you actually see what looks like a group of wolves. You only notice now as they're about 15 feet away from the camp itself, from the wall that Po-jem built. You notice their glowing eyes reflecting off of the remaining embers of the campfire, the small fire itself, just kind of staring into the camp. Probably felt the scent of venison lingering in the air. You stare perfectly still. As you stare, you kind of hear just soft growling emanate. And you notice that one of them just kind of slowly begins to inch closer, and the light from the fire kind of you can see this wolf better. It's a slightly larger wolf. You immediately get the sense it's probably the alpha of this group, but curiously enough, it's not completely covered in hair. You notice that a portion of its upper lip across its left eye and then down its neck and in patches across its back is this large scar, almost as if it's been burnt. And you notice that like almost all these patches are completely hairless and have this glossy, smooth look to them. As a lot of burn scars kind of look, almost like veiny and folded over. But yes, you may attempt to intimidate them. You can make an intimidation check. And I'll give you advantage on this. Well, you would only have to roll that one time, and it would go to 13. No, well, from where you're sitting, making eye contact, you step up from where you are, and just you also begin to walk forward a little bit, take a couple steps. As you do, you're locked in just almost a moment, maybe two, of complete silence. Everything in the world just kind of just quiets down as you're looking into this primal beast's eyes. And with that, it turns tail and walks back into the forest, all the other wolves retracting with it. You stand there for a couple moments. 1, 2 minutes pass. And you can almost feel like you can almost breathe again.
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah, it seems like they're gone, but if you'd like, you could probably save a portion of whatever venison is left over for them, if not the rest of it. Alright. Okay. So. Alright, so by this time, Maza, it is your shift. So you wake up, you and Casimir kind of switch out.
Any problems? I say to Casimir.
Alright.
Sure thing.
Alright. So with that, so Maza, Casimir goes to take his sleep, and you sit up for watch for your shift. you notice that a portion of whatever venison is left has been carved out. You notice there's a lot less food than there was before. Um, but the fire has also died down some, so it's at this point it's basically just still hot, glowing embers now. So it only allows you a little bit of light, dim light in like 5 feet, but you're still able to see well enough with your dark vision, handy dandy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I need you to make a perception check.
Whoop.
Oh.
There we go.
Wow, beautiful. All right, so you're sitting there under the waning moon, the light shining down. It's not completely overcast as it usually is in this area, but the clouds do fill the sky. Your thoughts kind of ponder over how Hannibal Green referred to you as a devil. Just you know, it's just a demeaning term to refer to, to tieflings. But and it just kind of reminds you of how how unfair life can be in certain situations. But you do remember that it's not always the case, because you know plenty of tieflings that were able to make their own lives with plenty of good friends and people to trust on their own terms, even with whatever situation they were in. So if that adds any it is there. versus well your house. Some individuals like Hannibal Green would probably say your racial counterparts, the Osamar, these angelic-looking individuals. They're called Godbloods, but they're much rarer than you guys. So you haven't really seen any of them, but you've heard of them. Yeah. All right, but somewhere near the middle of your shift, probably like 45 minutes in, you notice Farron is shifting uncomfortably in her bedroll, and you almost hear like a whimper, come from her, but she's asleep. She just seems to be just like kind of shifting and rolling around.
Kind of softly walk over, kind of shake her a bit.
All right. As you shake her, as you shake her, it takes a couple seconds, but she wakes up with a start, and you notice this like almost cold sweat dripping down her face. And she shivers a little bit, and she kind of looks around with these tired eyes. She looks at you. She's like, "What happened?"
You're in a nightmare.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, I was. Thank you. Oh man.
You okay?
Thank you.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, I saw a book. I saw a book somewhere, and it was it was this black leather book with this. So I don't know. It looked like a skull or like a face on the book, and I don't know. It was so dark. It was so I don't know. It was somewhere beneath the ground, and I don't know. It was just it was just it was just a book. It was she kind of like rubs her forehead. She rubs sweat off her. It was just a book. I'm just really tired. I'm sorry if I bothered you.
No. Why? Nothing better to do.
And she's like, you want to talk about anything?
Nothing to talk about.
Alright then. But, I'll, try to stay away. And she kind of dozes off. Farron is, character booking plays.
Yeah.
Your ranger. Farron, Riordan, I believe the name is.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, Radia, yeah. Farron Radia. Yeah, I am playing for her, just at the moment. Alright, but Farron seems to doze off after that. A lot calmer this time now. But, with your... actually, yeah. But Mazza, your shift is overall, besides that little nightmare, and you notice a rat climb out of the bunch of wood and twigs that Po-jem has piled up. Climbs out of there and starts, just scurrying through the camp. Not really.
Can I grab it and throw it as hard as I can? Just
Jeez.
away.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Oh. Oh, really? Oh.
Unfortunately, the rat is much tougher to just snag. But as you get up and chase it, it is able to run off back into the darkness. It probably won't be coming
I kind
back
of
here.
shake my fist at it like a stereotypical old man.
Get off my lawn!
Get out of my camp!
Filthy vomit. Alright. So, the rat scurries off, and your shift comes to an end. With that, Hannibal is going to pick up the next shift after that. And then at the end of his shift comes Po-jem. Po-jem.
So yeah, I'm
Kinda
just
kick him awake violently.
Po-jem.
Only on his foot, though. Only on his foot.
well, I'm actually like in this meditation pose, and so you kind of hard kick the bottom of my foot, and my eyes just open immediately, and I'm like, hello.
In your beautiful blue robes, you wake up, and I guess Mazza, probably from where you were sleeping, you kind of kicked them, just wake them up. But as you guys are both slightly awake, you notice that there is a fifth person to this group now. As Hannibal Green is coming off his shift, he kind of goes, hey, sorry to wake you up, Mazza, but this guy was a traveler apparently, and he was looking for a place to stay. I checked him out. He doesn't have anything on him. He looks pretty okay. He's like, you could introduce yourself. I'm gonna go sleep in the car. And he pulls up his bedroll and goes nap there. You notice this man. He's got a kind of longish, about jaw length sideburns. He has some well kept curls and for hair. He's of a lighter complexion. He seems to just be wearing what looks like normal clothes, a traveler's cloak. There's not really much to him, but he just kind of looks around, looks at both of you, and he says, "Hi, welcome, or not welcome. I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous. Thank you for having me. My name is John. So, nice to meet you."
Insight check. Insight check immediately.
Sure, go for it.
Oh.
His name is most definitely John.
I'm going to.
He was awake at this point. Okay.
I'm going to. It looks like I'm walking up to shake his hand, but as I'm walking forward, my hand raises up into it. I'm just pointing my index finger, and I'm like, and I walk around him, I'm going to investigation check him.
Are you sure? And Casimir, after inciting him, he looks to be fairly honest, genuine. There's nothing about him that really gives off a threatening disposition. But go ahead and make an investigation check.
Those are always
He's
Like,
what
I,
do you
well, it's odd that this guy is traveling around in the middle of the night by himself. So I'm trying to deduce what would...
with no weaponry.
And with no weaponry. So I'm trying to deduce, through investigation, just, is this person what they appear to be and just incredibly lucky? Or are they hiding some type of secret power? Is there something in their stance that kind of gives away, like...
Well, with your investigation check, you do notice that under his cloak, his arm seems to be bandaged, like from his wrist up past his elbow, and he doesn't seem to move it too much. I've seen him kind of like maybe walks around, he just keeps it to his side. But as you guys are just interrogating him with your eyes, he just says, I'm only looking for some refuge. I don't mean to be an inconvenience. I can leave if you'd like. I just needed to rest somewhere.
Well, I see no problem in letting you rest here. I'm always curious to meet any traveler. But I see that you're injured, and this concerns me. That perhaps you... I'm not saying that this is what has happened to you, but maybe you're running from someone or something?
Casimir, with your sideline intimidation check, he looks at you and then immediately looks down the ground. But his shoulders almost sink a little bit as you mention this, and he says, it's true, I'm not just only a traveler. I was part of a small traveling unit of people. But they, fortunately, we scattered in the forest. Our small cart, we were attacked. We were attacked by bandits in the night. Where any of my other companions are, but they've ran. I can only pray that they're alive. But I barely got out. It's just some minor injuries. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are they gonna follow you?
No. The only man who followed me, he just kind of looks down at his open hand, just kind of looking at the back of his hand as if he's seen it for the first time, and he just says, well, I killed him, so hopefully, he doesn't come back to look for me. But he gives like a weak chuckle, at his dark attempt at a joke. And he says, but again, if you'd rather have it that I don't stay, I won't trouble you.
How'd you kill him? Magic?
No. I actually the opposite. I attempted to formally educate myself in the martial arts, but I did not get too far with that. But no magic, not anything. And he kind of grabs his arm, his left arm a little bit.
Well, I am of the opinion that the road fairies would look not fondly upon us or myself if we did not offer aid to a fellow traveler of the road. Whether your story is true or not, whether you mean us ill or not, or whether the troubles you faced will soon be our troubles, I will welcome you. And if you will allow me, I will see if I can tend to your wounds. Perhaps staunch the flow of blood.
Thank you. No, my wounds, they're not bleeding any longer. They've stopped bleeding for some time now. But thank you. I just need rest. I don't require food or drink. I would just like to rest, if that is okay.
Okay. We will place you on the opposite side of the fire from ourselves. Just in case.
I just want to watch him the entire night. No more sleeping, just watching him.
Yeah. Well, no, you can. I had my 4 hours. I'm completely fine, so I can just sit and watch him.
If you spend the rest of the night trying to watch him, you give up the benefit of your full rest.
And you'll get exhaustion, which we need you at full.
Yeah. Well, it's possible to gain exhaustion, yes.
So
it's up to your own discretion what you want to do. Because technically this is Po-jem's watch.
I look over at Po-jem. Wake me up if he tries anything. And then not even getting into bed, just lean against sleep.
Yeah, I sit across from him, like 20 feet away. No, 30 feet away. And, yeah.
Alright. So he, before you guys mount up to this, says, well, thank you again. Thank you.
And your name, good friend?
My name is John.
Oh, that's right. No last name, John? Or John?
But he weakly laughs and he says, Bookham. John Bookham.
John Bookham.
Yes. And with that, he bids you a good night, and he kind of, he sleeps on the opposite side of the campfire with his back towards you, so the cloak is like covering him.
The minute his back is turned, I reach into my bag, and my longbow just starts coming out.
Sure. Okay.
And I have an arrow notched and like ready.
Oh shit! All right, cool. He's just there, still. He lays there still. So Po-jem, you spend the rest of the night with your arrow notched and your longbow, and watch on this man, making sure he doesn't get up, doesn't do anything.
And also looking around, too.
Yeah, of course. At the same time, keeping your attention sharp, making sure nothing jumps on you.
The fire stoked, things of that nature.
Slowly, yeah, of course. And slowly, the sun does begin to rise. The sun does rise. As it does rise, it slowly begins to filter through the tree line. It takes some time as you continue on with your ship, with your watch. I mean, and it's about around I want to say like probably 7:30, like 8 in the morning. Hannibal wakes up and he sort of scratches his hair, and he goes, he sees you with your bow notch, and he goes, oh, okay. let me know not to wake you up in the morning, all right? He kind of gets up and he kind of heads out to the side, picks up a pot, and he's like, I'm gonna go find some water real quick. And he goes ahead and he picks up his backpack and he kind of heads off. But yeah, so it's around 8 in the morning. The rest of you guys also wake up, I'd say. Unless you decide to sleep in.
Wake up.
Alright, okay. So you guys wake up well rested and at the top of your game. Woo!
And the minute I see everybody waking up, I push the bow back into my bag with the arrow back.
Okay. So Casimir, you're taking a bath? What do you mean you're what? I don't understand. Okay. So, is there anything you guys want to do this morning?
I would like to investigate stones one last time, just in case I missed something.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Or a nature check, if you like. Alright. Maza, is there anything you'd like to do this morning?
Just start packing up.
Sure, okay.
Let the others do their foolish rock looking.
Gotcha. I'd say actually, Casimir, you and Hannibal would both go look for water to take a bath in and, do whatever. So you would go together. Po-jem, you're just continuing to study these rocks. With that great investigation, unfortunately, you don't garner any more information than you would have the day before you looked them up. I looked at them. They just seem to be normal stones. There's nothing too special about them. Just that it is a well-defensible area.
Good. Po-jem is satisfied.
Maza.
Actually, while I pack up, can I chat up John? It's like...
Did he wake up?
Actually, as you're packing, you notice that John has not woken. John has not moved at all. As you guys have been doing a little commotion, cleaning up and everything.
I kick him.
As you kick John, you watch his cloak fall off from, the rest of his body as just a dusty set of bones begin rolling out in different directions after you kick them. Skull, ribcage, arm bones, and just the pelvic area and legs are left inside whatever pants there were, and bones just go flying, and you notice a crumpled piece of paper held in that closed, bony hand.
Oh, lovely. I grab the piece of paper and I read it.
As you pull the piece of paper out and you unfurl it, written inside it looks like just a note that says, "Thank you for the refuge." And you notice what looks like the small markings at the end of the note that almost look like a map.
Do I recognize where the map is?
You can make a survive, or you can make an investigation check, a survival check.
I'm gonna go with survival.
Sure.
What better at that?
Ooh. You're definitely sure. Looking at this map, you can tell that this is the same forest that the map is drawn in. The Tuskwood forest. So you're definitely sure about that. But where exactly these markings lead, where this X mark of spot is, where you guys are on the map, that you're not 100% sure.
Great.
Yes.
I kinda, once Po-jem is done investigating his rocks, kinda give it to him. I was like, what do you think?
Well, coming over and seeing you're standing there with this paper and like a pile of clothing and bones, I'm walking up, and it looks like I'm heading right to you, but I'm actually walk right by you to the bones. I'm like, is this our friend John Bookham?
I believe so, yeah.
The note
Maybe
is
it's
signed
that
by
road
Bookham.
fairy you were on about.
Well, it could be. It could be. Supposedly, they wield a tremendous might and power. But until I did not see this. Did you see any? Did you see a road fairy? And I'm like,
Considering how they don't exist, no, not at all.
shh, shh. She did not mean that. She did not mean that. All well know, road fairies do exist. And what a blessing.
Oh, shut up. You're gonna alert everyone to our position.
Well, I'm going to do a quick investigation of the bones.
Alright. What are you looking for? Quick it is.
Just is it charred body, dried body, any organs left, eyes, tongue, just a general...
Nothing. Just yellowed leftover bones of a body almost looked like it was picked clean or just rotted away.
And as I'm...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, the bones are cracked, more or less, from Mazza's kicking, but they seem like they were just naturally decayed.
And I'll cast Mage Hand, and I'll start scratching my chin, just thinking. And as I'm thinking, the Mage Hand goes over, picks up the skull, brings the skull to me, and without looking, I open up my bag and push the skull in.
Beautiful. Alright.
Why did you steal the skull?
What is that paper you have in your hand?
Okay, or just ignore the question. It appears to be a thank you note for letting him stay here. And map. It's here. Don't know where exactly, but it's here.
Map? And Po-jem is immediately... Let me see. And is just holding it up and looking at it in the light and just and it's gonna... Full investigation mode.
Go for it.
Not an investigation mode morning, it seems.
Alright, so you can tell by all the markings made on the map, you can also tell this is well placed within the Tuskwood Forest. But you can also tell that this map probably leads, well, from the placing of some of the towns around the area, you can probably tell that this could be buried treasure, a hidden location of some sort. But it's particularly deep into the Tuskwood Forest. It's much farther south than your guys' intended location.
And I immediately go, aha! Aha! Yes!
Kind of jump a bit.
It is a map.
Really? Wow. Thank you for your insight.
I know it could be confusing, I know. But all the signs are there. It is definitely a map.
You know it would take the same amount of time to get to this place that it would get to Fort Nightfall, about a 2-day journey from where you guys are right now.
Okay, why don't we do this after we do what we need to do, and then maybe we can go and see what it's about.
Po-jem is about to agree with you, but then it's looking down at the map and it's just ooh.
I take the map from him. In my pocket.
Okay.
I could hold that. I have plenty of room.
Priorities.
Yes.
In my pocket. Don't worry about it.
Well, later when we stop again, can I study it some more, please?
I'll consider it.
Thank you.
Alright. Okay. So Um, Alright, so you guys spend the morning washing up, desecrating dead bodies, and finding treasure maps.
What a productive
So,
morning.
Yes, what a productive morning indeed. Um, but you guys quickly find yourselves packed up, ready to go, and heading out onto the trail. Man, it's wild. Hold up. Okay, so alright, very good to know. Good to know. So you guys pack up everything into the back of the cart, and you guys are set and ready back onto the road. Um, traveling forward, Maza, you still notice that the faint haze coming down through the forest and whatnot. Though it is slightly thicker now. It's
Hmm.
not. Yeah, so I would usually just describe it as like a light fog. Light fog.
From being around this area, do I know
Mhm.
anything about the forest and, like, if this is normal for the forest?
Mm, so the Tuskwood Forest is actually, uh, well, the most southwestern part of it is very close to Valishpur. So there are some, towns. So there are some towns built along the side of it, here and there. But you know that the very end of the Tuskwood Forest actually connects with this. All right, so basically, just to explain to you guys that the entire landmass that you guys are located on is referred to as the Northern Continent. So to the west is the continent of Isrania, and you guys are in the country of the sovereignty of Isrania. Then all the way to the east is Kurstad, which is where the huge Dwarven and Elvish countries are. But in between is this large rift that you could walk through, but many people choose not to. Uh, it's a sea of forest, referred to as the land of timbers. And you know that Tuskwood Forest connects to there, and that many people do report things of, like, rumor, myth, legend happening in the Tuskwood, whether it be, strange creatures roam about, or just, odd lights seen throughout the forest, or even something like this, a lingering fog that just seems to hang around, despite the time of day. So you could probably attribute it to its mysterious, history, but off the top of your head, you can't really deduce why it would be happening like this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I walk
Okay.
beside the cart once more.
Alright, sure. You're not in the cart?
No.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so as you guys hop in the cart, now Casimir, completely clean, blood free, invigorated, and Po-jem with Shakespearean skull in hand. You guys, uh, you guys roam on for the rest of the day. Is there anything you guys want to do as the day passes by?
the are you asking about the skull?
I believe.
Well, the skull went into my bag. Like I had the mage hand kind of grab it, and as the skull got to me, I opened the bag and had the mage hand push the skull into the bag. So, if you saw that, no, nothing so tried as that. No, no. Merely for further investigation purposes and the potential for our friend John, newly acquainted and quickly lost, underwent some amazing destructive transformation. So it may have left certain alchemical residues that I might be able to extract at some later point. And this is a weird world, and every now and then you can barter with things of this nature. Sometimes just for curiosity's sake. But it's no trophy of an enemy. I'm going to go ahead and read that, because I am recording. Dishonoring one's enemy is the greatest form of dominance. But I suppose your scientific reasons make sense. For you, I guess.
Okay. So with that, Hannibal is he's driving the cart, but he kind of overhears something about John, destructive transformation, and he's just like, what do you mean? What could have happened to him?
Well, it wasn't old age. I mean, from being a tired traveler with a flesh wound to a pile of dust and bones, that was not natural. That was truly a being meeting an ill and probably magical fate.
He looks over at you with these partially glazed eyes, and he's just like, nah, I don't believe that's John. Nah, he probably got up and left.
I see why you never became an adventurer.
Yeah.
But
it's I prefer to stay alive, skin intact,
Well, I understand. Oh. My apologies, Mazza. You were saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was just a casual comment. It said, don't we all? In response to wanting to keep our skin.
Gotcha. Okay. He kind of gives you like a acknowledging nod.
So
kind of ride out for the next couple hours.
I want to talk to him a little bit more.
Sure.
Just to feel him. I'm going to basically try to feel him out on his thoughts on the burning of books and whether he's a regime head kind of dude or is he a fearful follower.
Okay.
So I mean, was this your first foray into the destruction of books?
No, not exactly. I mean, I've done the job maybe a couple times before, so they know me, so they call back if they need anyone, and I said yeah, so they brought me back. But I've never really done anything like this, mass burning of books. Before it was just like, help us out. We're looking for this book somewhere, and I'd hop over to a bookstore, do some pushing and shoving, talk my way in, and they'd hand it over, no trouble at all. I mean, whatever the guards did to whoever I took the book from, that's not my problem. I got the book from.
I see.
Yeah, it's just a job that pays.
Well, and from what you have said, it pays very well.
Yeah, well enough for me to live comfortable. So,
well, I believe you must get, I mean, massive amounts of rewards for destroying such evil items, such poisons to the society. I mean, you must get, I mean, there's probably a little hero worship from, the local folks and things of that nature.
Hero worship.
Well, yes, you're destroying all of these evil, wicked, destructive books that at least that's what I've heard.
listen. This is you're using a lot of language, makes it seem heroic, fantastical, and everything. But I think you got your head in too many books here, buddy. Okay, Poe, it's just a job. So someone like me, I don't get worship or gifts or nothing like this from doing this. It's just what they ask of me, and they pay me to do it. If they didn't pay me as much as they did, I'd probably find a better paying job. But
So you
but poison and evil, come on, they're just books, It's and in the matter of helping out society and everything, it's come on, it's country, the world's already going to shit. So it's honestly, I'm watching out for my own back. I got nothing to do with society and their morals.
I see. Well,
But yeah, I mean, listen, don't. If I were you, I wouldn't be talking about how these books and stuff are poison and evil. I wouldn't be saying that out loud. There's certain people out there who don't take too kindly to that kind of talk.
but you're royal. This is part of the royal's decree. I mean, I know I am an outsider. Maybe I'm naive in believing what I guess the controllers of thought are putting out there. So you're saying that some of these books are actually good things being destroyed?
He kind of furrows his brow and he just kind of rubs his temples and he says, Poe, alright, I'm still a little hungover from the night before. This is a lot to process at the moment, but I mean, if I could answer real short, I don't know. They're just pieces of paper, wrapped up into a book. Whether they're good or evil or man, I don't know. Like I said, I just get paid. I just get paid to do this. Alright, I'm not. I'm not like a book hound or anything. Okay, I just do this. But yeah, I don't know, man.
So
he seems like genuinely kind of like not flustered quite, but it's he generally does look slightly hungover, and he's just he's trying to put together as many words as he can to make sense in whatever his reply is. But in general, the general feeling you get off of him is just that he's pretty much just watching out for himself. He's just doing this job just because it pays. You don't get like a vibe from him that says he's completely loyal to to the sovereignty of this country or completely against it either. It's like he's just another person stuck in the gray area.
Communist country. Just like I don't make waves. I get the work that I can get. Don't make waves.
Basically, that's the feeling you get off of Hannibal as is going on. But yeah.
I'll end it with in life, one of the most important things is being able to support your wife and children. So we do the work that we can.
He starts laughing and he goes, wife and children. Yeah, sure, I'll drink to that. And he pops open his flask and takes another swig out of it, and he after he swigs, he kind of turns it upside down. And he's like, "Shit, I'm out." Okay.
I go, Maza, Farron, seems we have a single man on our hands right here. Be careful.
I'm good.
Well, okay, you just told me a lot that I needed to know, because I was like, well, we may have to threaten him with fucking up his family. Oh, he has no family. All right.
after you make that comment about Farron and Farron and Maza to Hannibal, Hannibal just kind of looks at you like, what the fuck?
But they're beautiful, beautiful women. Unless you're a man's man. And I wink at him.
He he turns around and he says, "I better watch the road." and he whips the horses back up and continues travel. But
Po-jem looks nonplussed, like he did. Oh, okay, all right.
So as you guys are traveling for some time, oh shoot, sorry, there's a fly here. Okay, as you guys are traveling for some time, it probably goes down to maybe around 10 in the morning. So you guys are getting the sun's heat, though the overlaying of fog mitigates that a bit. As you guys continue to travel, though, you see in the distance, it seems like you guys are catching up to what looks like a small group of merchants. It seems like 2 carriages.
We're catching up with 2 carriages?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hannibal, are these your friends? Or I should say your associates in business?
Yeah. He grunts and he goes, kind of takes a look and he goes, "Nah, no way. They have a good 24 hours ahead of us in travel time." But you know what? Though they look like immigrants, actually.
Immigrants, you don't say.
Yeah. He points out as he points off. You do notice that the carts, as wooden as they look, they seem to have like kind of different colored, almost fabrics, kind of outsides of the carriages. You see what looks like just small decorations laid out on the carriages. One of the horses has a saddle just with like bells on the end. You can see some people peeking their heads out of small windows in the carriages and whatnot. You can see them as well. But as you're catching up, Hannibal Green looks back to the group and says, "So, do you guys want to talk to them, or they'll probably talk to us?"
And did we catch up with them yet? Yes, I'd like to see what they have.
Right, sure. As you guys approach, does anyone wave them down?
Well met, road travelers. May the road fairies grant you always a clear field with sweetest of waters.
At
I
first,
kind of just facepalm.
yeah, at first the people are like, "Hey," and then as you continue, they're like, "Oh, oh, what are they?"
Ignore him. He is an idiot. I walk forwards and hold my hand out. Hello.
Some
What do
people
you have?
greet you, and you notice that in the front of the caravan, one of the drivers is a man with what looks like a sharp like 2-pronged goatee and this finely curled mustache, and he stops the caravan and he shouts out to the rest in a different language. Who knows? he shouts out in a different language, and he goes halafa toy toy, and you watch as the horses stop, and the different individuals kind of start opening up windows and stuff, and he turns around to you. You notice like men and women, small children, they kind of start moving about, and he says yes, welcome. He says, "My name is Umar. Nice to meet you, travelers. can I help you with anything?
Just wondering what you have.
Okay, yes, of course. Uh, just give us one moment and we will open up immediately for you. But in the meantime, can I offer you anything to drink, to eat? Some tea, maybe? Some cakes?
I would like to insight check him.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Never mind.
He seems a little hard to read in his sense of motives, but he seems to be generally offering food. Yeah. You notice this young man and young girl. They kind of come over and they bring out like two small tables, like foldable tables, and some chairs. And Casimir, as you say, ale. He goes, yes, we do have some limited supply of ale, but I will be able to bring you a mug. For the rest of you, anything to drink or eat, maybe.
The cakes and tea sound lovely.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Of course, and he kind of gives you this like small. He bows his head, just slightly. I will be right back.
And before he goes, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
she's just being polite. Bring her something too.
No, I'm really not.
He leans over to you and well, he hears the conversation and he says, well, it is a part of our custom and culture. Even when denied, we will still offer something. Even if you do not touch your touch your lips to the food, we will still leave it there in case. And he kind of goes out and he goes, Saya, some food and drink for our friends here, please. And this like thickly set woman kind of looks over to him, and she kind of waves at him in a different language and responds happily. She goes back inside. Within moments, a teapot, some teacups for each of you. Well, a mug of ale for Casimir, and some little piece of cake, or just kind of thrown out there.
Kaz says, that is quite a generous manner, and I say back to Kaz, well, it is actually quite normal with my people for any guest within our at least our area to be treated thusly.
He looks at you and he goes, yes. Well, I'm not so familiar with the customs of the northern continent. And looking over at all of you without batting an eye. He says, is there anything at all I can help you with? We are only here to really make make good terms. Make good terms with the northern continent as people of the eastern continent. So, yes.
Are you leading this troop?
Well, yes. I guess you would say that I am at the moment the head of this small caravan.
At the moment.
Yes. Yes, of course, because it's well, we here, we are all just simply travelers finding new way to make a new life for us. So they do see to me for some guidance, but we live our lives as we see fit. But yes, were you interested in any wares that I may offer you?
Well, it depends on what you have. What do you sell here?
Alright. So basically, as he shows you the wares on the inside of the carriages, it's basically they sell just a lot of tools and equipment. Like picks. You got paper here. They don't sell too many weapons, but you see just like 2 short swords, a couple daggers. There's some chain there. It's It's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of stuff they sell, but he does say that the one thing that sticks out to you though. He pulls out. I had it right here. I'm sorry. Right. So he does pull out a scroll of paper, and he says, "Well, this is the only one that we could acquire, but we do have a spell scroll if you are willing to buy."
What spells it?
I'm looking it up right now, but yeah, actually he does say, he says, this would be this would be a. I apologize. I am not sure how to translate from my language to yours, but it is you are able to take a small animal and let it carry message for you. When you scroll, this small animal will become a messenger for you. Yes.
How much?
Well, I'm selling the scroll at 100 gold pieces.
That's a little much. Well, what can you expect with magic?
Is it?
I'll have to pass.
All right then. Okay. Of course. And kind of like looks off to you, Casimir, and to you, Po-jem, Farron.
Okay.
Yes. They do have regular drawing instruments.
And knives and sharpeners.
No, you guys started off with the amount of gold that you would start off with. But yeah. So, is there anything you guys are looking for in particular? Yeah. They don't seem to be too hefty on items of the magical persuasion, but they'll basically offer you anything that's inside the player's handbook.
Okay. What do they have for clothing?
So as you can see in the second carriage, you notice that they have almost like they have this top. It's almost like a I want to say it's right, and this is beautiful, kind of orange, pink, and a bit of blue.
Show your mic cut out a lot during that.
Yeah.
Got green and a little bit of blue towards the end there.
Yeah, the edges are lined with kind of like a gold frill.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that description? Joe?
Yeah, there's others as well. It's what kind of clothing are you looking for?
Could you please repeat the description?
And what the item was?
Yeah, your mic was cutting out.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
Okay, so let's see. I believe it's called the gi. Yes. Okay. All right. So basically, it's a wrapped over piece of cloth that you would wrap over your upper torso. And it's made of a fabric that's orange in color with shades of red and blue within. And it's got a rough texture on it, like as you feel it, but the inside of it is very soft, kind of like silky. And it has this like gold trim around where you would say like the sleeves and the neck area would be. And there is pretty much it's pretty much like that type of clothing, in different varying like shades of color. They have hats of magnificent magnificent, decoration. And their pants are also loose fitting, but also beautiful colors.
How much for the gi?
He looking over this. One of the women there. She's a little older, with black hair with graying at the roots. They're of darker complexion, but she comes over to you with this gnarled wooden stick. And she silently, without speaking to you, she kind of picks it up and she pats it, and she picks up 3 fingers to you.
3 gold, 3 silver, 3 copper.
As you confusedly speak to her, one of the younger boys comes up and starts speaking to her and says, "Baba, actual kumosh telo," and she kind of mutters some words back, and he looks at you, this young boy with bright hazel eyes, just rough curled black hair, and he looks over to you and says, "Yes, my grandmother, she wants 3 silver."
Deal.
Okay. Is there anything else that we can help you with? Yes?
No, that should be it.
Alright. The grandmother kind of nudges him with a stick, and he goes, you sure you don't need maybe a new pair of pants? Maybe a jacket?
I'm actually looking for just a strip of cloth.
We don't have any undyed cloth, but we do have more clothing if you'd like.
No, that should be all.
Okay, alright then. So with that, would anyone else like to do anything? Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, Casimir, I didn't see your request, but your purchase for the knife sharpener, pencils, and paper, that would probably come total like 1 gold piece, to be honest. Yeah. And Po-jem, would there be anything you'd like to purchase, or are you just kind of sitting, drinking tea, and eating cake, talking to Umar?
Actually, I tell Umar I would gladly buy a tremendous amount of what you have. It all interests me. But at this stage in my growth as a scholar, my pockets are rather empty.
All right.
I mean, perhaps, I do have a gift with tinkering, so, I mean, I could offer trade if there was something that you needed repairing, or, a wheel giving you trouble or something of such nature. But otherwise, I will find enjoyment in the newfound company.
Umar twists on one of the ends of his mustache and kind of pulling it out. And he gives it some thought, and he says, "Do you have any of these tinkering items with you? Maybe I take a look."
Well, I have my tinkering tools, but I need those to tinker.
Of course.
I mean, the only thing recently that I've procured that is of any, well, at least as interesting to me, is the skull of a man who died oddly. As a scholar and investigator, I want to know what caused this man to die in such a way, but As an alchemist, I'm also interested in perhaps the things I can gain from the skull.
This is interesting.
Would you like to see it?
Yes, of course. I would appreciate the opportunity to see this. Yes.
I cast Mage Hand, open my pouch, have the hand go in, and have the hand pull out the skull and set it on the ground between us.
Wow. This is wow. This looking at the skull, he says this is very good condition. If you just found it, and he kind of gives it back to you. Like wipes his hand on a napkin in his eye. And you say you just found it like this on the road?
Well, it originally started out as a person.
Yes, as all bones do, my friend.
Well, a person that was very much alive the night before, but when we woke up, they were like that.
Ha ha ha. He gives off like a nervous laugh. He goes, "Oh, this is wow. Okay. He kind of gets up just nervously, and he goes, I think my wife, she may need help with some more of a boiling tea."
And I get up and I'm like, "Oh, can I? I'll gladly help you both."
It is part of our custom. You must sit at this table. If you're not going to buy anything, then please just sit. Enjoy the tea and cake. I will be back soon.
Lovely cake.
He kind of like rushes off, just like, oh, okay. But Casimir. So going on from there, Lou. Just telling you, Po-jem. The cakes they're a little dry, but tasty enough. All right. So Casimir, you're going around to buy spices, and the young man and young woman that helped set the table before, they seem to be handling something like they look like herbs, but you go over to them, and they greet you with a small bow and a hello, and they say yes, we do have spices for sale. Are you looking for anything in specific? Salt. Unfortunately, we do not have salt to trade. I'm sorry. Well, we do have some spices. We have some meats and other foods if you'd like. Unfortunately, no fruits, not anymore. But we do have dried fruits and meats and spices. Besides, that would be about all that we can trade from our food supply. From where we'll come from, a lot of it comes from. Sorry, my lights just went out. Okay. But he goes. Well, I'll say probably the girl. She says. Most of the meats are procured from an animal called the dune shank. It's like a six-legged, almost like a what you call a rat, very large. She laughs and says, "Oh, okay, great. How much would you like? How many pounds?"
Not for six-legged rat, I'm afraid. They don't typically taste well.
The girl kind of looks over to you, and she says, "It tastes perfectly fine. It is delicious. Dune shank is like a common delicacy in the nomad lands, but it is alright. Whatever you would like." opens a barrel, and it basically looks like just large chunks of just like jerky almost, and it's a very dark meat. And she starts pulling it out, and she kind of puts it in like a piece of cloth for you, about 2 pounds. She weighs it out, and she gives it over to you, and she says, "All right, that would be 4 copper pieces."
Did someone just sneeze?
No. Yeah.
You give her 1 silver as tip, and she goes, so she takes the silver, and she goes, "Oh, okay, there you go." And she starts making change. Like she makes change, and she gives it over to you. She kind of blushes, and she's, "Oh, no. I cannot accept this. This is your money. This is your money, please. We don't need any more than we have." All right then. This is acceptable. And as you give her, let me see. So that's gonna be 6 more. So so in total, you get 5 pounds of dune shank jerky. So it's dune shank. So you can add that to your inventory. All right, okay. So 15 minutes pass, and Hannibal's kind of looking over, and he's like, "So are you guys ready to leave?"
You're not getting anything?
He's sipping up on a cup of tea, and he like pockets a couple cakes, and he goes, "Nah, I don't need anything." But their hospitality was welcomed enough, I guess.
And did we find out the name of these people, what they call themselves?
No, but if you ask, Umar, Umar would probably come back after some time, cool his nerves. But he would come back, and you notice he's like smoking this like intricate looking tobacco pipe. As he smokes, he goes, "If you're not familiar with the Eastern continent, then?"
Am I?
I mean,
From books.
Okay. Well, we are one of the 3 groups that populate the Eastern continent. We are known as Asnoshai. It is our people's name, but unfortunately, we have been target of many strife. So we had to leave the civil war, and we came here to the northern continent, hoping to make new, better life for us. But yes.
And and has it been good thus far? Have you run into any problems?
He goes, no problem whatsoever. The knights, besides some wolves out there, but we are used to this. We have no problem. We have no problem venturing out. We came back from Valashpur some time ago. But we are hoping to get to the capital city, Everheim. So if you ever get to the capital city, please look for us. My name is Umar Khayyam.
How do you spell that?
I'm gonna put that in the in Roll20.
And they're headed to
and they're heading to Everheim. That's the sovereignty of Estrania's capital, Everheim. That's where the king lives, and everything. That's the sovereign seat of King Zacharias Ulrich III. But yeah, so let's see. But yeah, so yes, so they explain to you that it's basically the Asnoshai. They're not like a tribe of people, but it's more like a political group that the country identifies themselves with. So it's kind of common knowledge, at least to the people that live that usually beat immigrants from the Eastern continent, that the continent is unfortunately wrought with like a large civil war.
It's too bad.
And does Umar mention, or can we kind of get a vibe of the group that he blames the most of the other two for this civil war?
So if you ask, well, do you ask?
Not meaning to pry, friend Umar Khayyam. Usually in any conflict, there is one main aggressor, one...
Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna mention this. You can keep going if you'd like, but if you don't want to be as forward with it, I'll allow you to make a history check.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I can do that.
So it's all right. So Po-jem, with your kind of personal homeschool situation type books of different subjects, the sciences, politics, philosophies. You know that there are three political groups in the Eastern continent called the Godai, the Asnoshai, and I had this memorized. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're doing great, dude. What the fuck? That's awesome.
The Godai, the Asnoshai, and the Sureski. So basically, it's and the Sureski. How old are you, Po-jem?
Wait, hold on a second. Sir Rick.
Sureski. So it's Godai as I'll type it out.
I'm trying to spell them phonetically. Shureski. The Godai, the Shureski, and the Asnoshai.
Asnoshai, yes. So with the 16 history check, you know that these are the three political groups, but from what you read, just because there's so many migrants, the Asnoshai, they specifically make an effort to stay out of the civil war, but because of their effort to stay out of it, they're unfortunately targeted by a lot of Godai and Sureski extremists that think, if you're not my friend, you're my enemy, type of thing.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but is the case. So you can understand why they would be coming to the northern continent to try and make a life, even whether they know or not what type of situation the northern continent is in.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah.
And I will go. I know of the Asnoshai, and I know things have not been easy for your people. And I hope that the division that has divided your homeland gets resolved, and that at some point you all will be able to return home.
He gives you a small bow with his right hand up to his chest, and he goes, I thank you very much for your generosity, sir, and your kind words.
And I'm
yes.
you asked my age. I'm six. He is 69. Just as Scanlan Shortholt.
All right, awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what a number. Yes. So the thing is that all right. So actually, this is interesting. because that means, Po-jem, you would have seen the last 19 years of the era of strife. You would have seen the last 2 decades of the end of the Great War, actually, which is pretty interesting. Because the Great War ended 50 years ago. Um, so yeah, that's pretty interesting. But but unfortunately, the start of the Civil War and everything would have predated that. But I would say you are pretty familiar with that. The Northern Continent's main problem is, there's a lot of undead running amok, a lot of monsters running through the night and everything. Um, so it's a serious problem for them. But so Masa's 24 years old. All right, okay,
Mhm.
okay. And how old is Casimir?
37 apparently. No, yeah, 37 apparently.
Is that in No, you know what? I'm not gonna ask. Uh, okay, 37. Holy crap. Okay. All right, so okay. All right. So the war has just recently ended. It's
Oh, 35.
what you guys basically. So this is basically like yeah. So basically uh Po-jem has seen the end of World War II, and this is currently like the 90s. Yeah. Scrunchies,
Wow.
yes, scrunchies are in.
And I have mentioned that usually you won't see someone as young as me as an elf kind of running about. Usually elves will wait till they're like 80 or 90 to kind of head out. I mean, we're adult for a long time before we leave. And I outgrew, and I was just like, I want to see the world. I'm learning a lot here, but I want to learn more.
All right, okay, yeah. But with the Hannibal kind of like he kind of grabs your attention again. It's like, so are we gonna get out of here, or am I just gonna have to wait around for you guys?
I'm ready. Maza, Casimir?
Just before we go, what do you... I kind of usher him aside a little bit, just out of earshot of Hannibal.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about books?
He kind of brings his face to his hand and he goes, okay, I kind of already had this conversation. I mean, books are fine. I read books.
Oh no, I didn't mean bring Hannibal aside. I meant the
Umar.
Umar guy. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Earshot. Yeah.
Yeah. Hannibal would have been like, why are they so interested? But,
maybe they're
Yeah,
pages.
okay, so as you bring Umar to the side, oh right, so actually real quick, Maza, I would let you know that these people seem completely unfazed by the fact that you're a tiefling, horn, broken or not, blue skin or red skin, whatever. Yeah, I know it's blue skin, but it's like whether or not they seem just completely unfazed. Like this is just yeah. But as you take him to the side, he's like, books. I'm not completely sure why you're asking. I mean,
They're a touchy subject in this land. So if you are selling books, I suggest keep them hidden. Do not tell anyone about them.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Then.
And if you run into any trouble involving books that you do not want, or want to acquire something, and you see me around, just come talk to me.
Yes, of course. I would like to thank you. Thank you very much. opportunity, and for this message that you give me. I'm very very thankful, and he kind of gives you just a bow, a little lower than what he usually gave. Uh, he gives you a small bow, and he says, and please, he kind of grabs your hand. He says, if you ever come to Everheim, please look us up, come find us, and I will be glad to help you in any way possible.
Will do. I nod and give him a gold feet. Take care of yourself.
He takes the gold piece and he says, I cannot accept this. This is would you like to purchase anything we have?
Just take it. Just take it.
He goes, all right, okay, I will accept your gift, and he kind of gives it, and puts it in, his pocket. But then he says, but then wait. He turns over to Casimir. He says, my friend, please accept this gift from us. And he kind of waves over to a young man. He picks up some piece of cloth, like some clothing. He brings it over and he passes it to Casimir, and he says, "This is not for your tiefling friend over here, but if she would like it, she may have it. Is that okay?" All right, okay. And he kind of waves you guys waves at you guys as you kind of take them pack up and start to leave, and you kind of hear them waving and saying their equivalent of have a safe trip, or you assume.
May the road fairies bless your wheels.
Again they shrink back at this like what is he saying?
And I once I say that, I kind of look around to like the trees in the ground and I wink.
Oh my gosh. I kind of shake my head at him.
Alright, yeah. And
No, they're not usually that nice at all. Foreigners, I guess.
Yeah. But what's it called? Maza, but if you do look at that other set of clothing that was given, it looks like it's like a green it's like a green and gold patterned long coat. Basically, it seems to be made of a thick cotton. It looks like something you probably wear on like a cold night or something,
Those people can't accept anything from me, can they? I take it.
Okay, alright. Actually, I want to put up a picture of what that item looks like. So basically...
These are basically... And these guys are basically gypsies, correct?
No, not. I mean,
in
the sense that they're traveling individuals. Yeah, I would say so. But
Ooh.
no, they look like they're just kind of they're just travelers that just had the idea of like let's be merchants so that we can get a head start as we immigrate to a different land.
That sounds like the story of original gypsies who kind of had an origin somewhere, and then at some point they just kind of...
Oh, alright, well then... Yeah, I guess you could say something like that. Sure, yeah. But okay, so it basically looks something like this. It's got a floral interior design, but the outside is pretty much just gold and green.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And it basically functions like cloth armor, which is like zero armor at all. But
Well, armor doesn't do me any good anyways.
Could you wear it under armor? Like a chain shirt, possibly?
Well, she doesn't wear armor, so you could actually wear this into battle. So that's fine.
Okay.
You guys travel for some time. Um, you guys travel for some time, come across, other people that are on like horseback, and they just kind of like ride past you guys, without acknowledging you guys are there, whether it's towards Valishbor or past you. Mm, all right, but as you guys continue on, is there anything you guys want to do for the remainder of the day?
I kind of catch up. I go where Hannibal is. I'm still walking.
Yeah.
If I get in, should we maybe speed up a little bit? Because, as you said, we have a full day. They have a full day ahead of us, and we kind of stop for an hour.
He goes, yeah, sure. I was wondering when you were gonna get tired of, walking on the road.
Well, I'm not tired. I'm just pressed for time, I guess.
He goes, well, no need to worry. We're almost at Stone Bridge, but because of that hour, we're probably gonna by. So as you hop in, he kind of whips up the horses, and they start beginning to trot and gallop faster. Makes the trip a little bit more uncomfortable, but you gotta give for speed. All right. So as you guys continue to travel faster and faster, you notice that the sun is beginning to set. But you can see over the road over a hill pass. You can see that you guys have made some progress. You've probably caught up. You're ahead of schedule, maybe 2 hours ahead. But you can actually see Stone Bridge about maybe a mile or 2 away. Yeah. And you see that it's actually just a woohoo! It's gonna be the first time in 3 games I do this, but we'll change it.
We'll get a map.
Woo! I'm back from the dead. Okay, so that due to unforeseen circumstances, I'm on Discord through my phone. My laptop just fucking died with no warning. So, but I'm still here. Yeah. But I'm just gonna put it in charge and then get this shit restarted. But all right. But yeah. So Stonebridge pretty much looks like that image on Roll20. It's basically just It looks like just a small community with a what looks like a water mill, kind of sat right next to this long river that shoots up through the land. You can tell that the river is probably like a tributary or something that comes down from the mountains. Yeah. So at this point, Mazda, you especially, because you've been the only one noticing it, that the fog has let up at this point.
How convenient.
Yeah, the fog is not really there anymore. Especially with the forest clearing, you feel like might be what it is. But yeah, hold on. Yeah. The sun is beginning to set. And you can see people are already beginning to kind of store shops are beginning to close up, animals are being ushered into small barns and stables, and people are already beginning to head back home. Farmers are calling it a night and everything. Yeah, any dock workers there are, they're retying knots. Did I completely cut out?
No. Yes, it does look like a nice town. I guess
Did you hear anything I said after? Or what was the last thing you heard me say?
The dock workers.
Okay, awesome. So the dock workers are just tying up their boats and they're just heading back inside. So that's about it. You guys have just entered the town of Stonebridge. Yes, the sun is setting.
We should find a stable or a inn and acquire lodging. Well, good friend Hannibal, you know this town well. I know you've been here before. You must have.
Yeah.
Is there a choice of inn and tavern, or is there just one establishment?
He kind of gives like a stupid little laugh, like like it's like, well, I know there's an inn. It's called the Filthy Rat.
Quite the name.
You're gonna find it closer towards the center of the town, near the square. But as for me, I got a little friend who might just be able to give me some house. You know what I'm saying? Some food and bed. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm just like deadpan. I'm like, no.
All right, okay. So he kind of rides towards the center square of the town, and he says, "All right, this is where you get off." And you see the Filthy Rat. It's actually quite a clean building, actually, with a stable set on the other side. It's a closed roof, closed door. And it just has like the sign hanging above the door is like a rat sat in a bathtub, basically, Filthy Rat. And you can,
oh goodness!
And you can hear the noises of people on the inside, and some music playing there as well, or at least the end of the song. Yeah, and then Hannibal rides off.
Well,
it's called the Dirty Rat.
Filthy Rat.
The Filthy Rat.
Yeah, this is a tavern.
Are you second that motion for any two girls in there?
As you enter, there is. I don't have any. Sure. Okay. We'll do this. So there's some music playing, actually, and it's you do see actually the tavern, the Filthy Rat, is full of people of all shapes and sizes, but Maza and Casimir, I'm sorry, Maza and Casimir, you do notice some ladies in there who catch your eye. Maza, for you in particular, you notice this a female half elf, actually. She has like the side of her head shaved and her hair just kind of combed down to the right side. She seems to just be leaning against the bar, watching the band play. She's how do I explain this, man? I'm not good with this, but she looks like she's really, she's done herself. She like I'm bad at this, but basically the makeup is on fleek. Her dress is very nice. I'm trying to use thematic appropriate
she looks
words,
good.
but she looks very well. For Casimir, on the other hand, you notice a well, from what the first time we know of your I want to say kinks, you actually notice a pretty muscular looking woman. She's actually the bartender. She's filling up a mug with ale, and she's passing it off to a man and woman at the end of the bar, and she's just serving up drinks and like plates of food. All right. But everyone seems to be just enticed with the show itself. But yes, she's quite muscly, but that's not the only thing. She's also equally good looking herself. Her hair is about like past the shoulders. Her long light brown hair. She seems to have these just dark brown eyes. It's just like they're almost just like hollow almost. They seem just very inviting. She's a human. She's a human. And she sports. I'll say it's like a heart-shaped tattoo that has like an anchor in the middle of it on her left arm. And she's just there. She's just there, serving whatever customers coming. But as you guys enter, this woman approaches what looks like a half elf woman. She looks to be maybe like middle aged, beautiful in her own right. But she seems to have like a bun of hair, just kind of like wrapped up, some hair sticking out from here and there. She looks over to all of you, and she welcome to the Filthy Rat. How can I help you guys? You looking for a room, drink, board, or I guess board and room, same thing. But yeah.
Both.
All right, okay. So are you guys all sitting together?
I might wander around.
Alright, sure. Whatever it is. But, go ahead. You can find a seat, grab a drink. If you want, go ahead. You can sit at the bar, and they'll be able to help you with whatever you need. But, there's a free table right over there in the corner, by the window. But the board, however, we'll charge you. We'll charge you as soon as you check out. But it's going to be a silver piece for the night.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Okay. So how many days will you be staying here?
Just the day. Just one.
Oh, just the night? All right then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a silver piece. You can pay now. You can pay tomorrow morning. It's up to you.
I'll just pay now.
Sure. Of course. All right. So you like toss. It's gonna be a silver piece each, though.
I'll pay for each of us then.
Oh, okay. It's kind of you.
Really? Okay.
So you're paying up 4 silver then?
4 silver?
Yes, for Farron,
Yeah. Okay.
Po-jem, yourself, and Casimir. I don't know why I have such trouble remembering Casimir. Alright, but alright. So she looks over to you and says like, yeah, but it's catchy. The Filthy Rat, it draws attention.
That it does.
So we prefer to keep it that way. It just seems befitting, especially for some of the people in town. But it's whatever. So yeah. So it's almost nightfall. So you might want to start heading out quick. And with that, the music comes to just like a triumphant end, as the strings and drums just come to like a beat, swirl of sound, and finish. And yeah, and there's like a man and his wife who was like dancing on the floor, just like an elderly couple. But as it finishes off, there's just like a soft clapping in the room. The musicians begin to pack up, and all right. So as you do, this young girl, she's about maybe like 13 years old, kind of comes up to you guys like, all right, do you guys want anything to eat or drink?
I'll take a mug of ale, please.
Okay, an ale. And you, sir?
Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Perhaps some honeyed milk, if you have it.
Honeyed milk. All right, yeah, I think we can manage that. Okay. All right. And Farron probably asks for an ale too, or I'm not sure what she'd get, but all right. So she goes, I'll bring her right up. She heads in the back, goes through like a swing door. Takes like a moment or two, but then she ends up bringing it to you. For Casimir, as you kind of saunter up to the bar, the woman kind of looks over at you, and she says, "Hi, what can I get you? An ale? All right, okay." Looking over you, she says, "Well, we got some meats in the back, salted meats. We got some honeyed meat too, some honeyed beef as well.
Any
yeah,
fish specialty?"
She says, "Yeah, we do have some fish and specialty. I don't know about that. It's pretty much just salmon. So I could provide that. Unless you got any other preferences."
Salmon with some bread and fresh vegetables would be lovely.
That's doable. Okay. So she kind of goes in the back and stuff. Back and gives you guys your food. We're just gonna play some like background music here. Yeah. She kind of gives your food out, and she kind of looks at both. She just looks at you guys, strangely. So what brings you guys into Stonebridge?
Just pass through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Casimir, try to eat in a dignified manner. All right, some meat and potatoes. Got going on. He goes like, so yeah.
Who are we addressing? You.
She goes, oh, the name's Alice.
Well, lovely to meet you, Alice. I am Po-jem.
All right, nice to meet you, Po-jem.
No, that's Po-jem.
I'm sorry about that, Po-jem. All right. And what was your name, sir?
I'm typing.
Ooh, that's a long name.
Well, I had to erase it all because you asked me a different question.
Oh, I mean, you could just say it out loud if you like. Oh, all right.
No,
all right, Casimir. Nice to meet you. So, all right. So you all just passing through.
Well, my friend is being modest. We're actually assisting our new acquaintance here rejoin his his business associates in a transportation job, I believe.
Oh, all right, okay. So you're on a job. That's fine. Okay. Um, just making some small talk. All right. Um.
I'll say that.
She looks at you. She looks at you, Casimir, and she is like, "Well, I mean, I could be really rude if you want, but you know, it's part of my job. I gotta be nice." Yeah, all right, listen.
I want to.
I was just kidding. I was just kidding. All right, you don't have to get all red in the face. So,
Oh, well.
all right. So,
Can I do an investigation check on Casimir?
yeah, yeah, sure.
Just because I'm like, oh, this is interesting. He's whenever Casimir engages with anyone, I'm kind of like, oh, how is this going to turn out?
Okay.
Oh, aggressive are they? The women too? Oh well, I mean, and she kind of like flexes the heart tattoo, and she's like, I'm pretty tough myself, so it's just got how you gotta be. It's just how you gotta be in these parts, So you either learn to look out for yourself or not at all. All right.
I kind of shake my head at him, pat his shoulder for good luck, and saunter over to the girl.
Right. So as you get up, the girl who's sitting at the bar, yeah, she seems to just be finishing off her drink, and you sit over to her, and she gives you almost like a side glare, and she goes, "Hello."
Hi. I noticed you're finishing your drink. Do you mind if I join you? Perhaps get you a new one?
She turns in her seat and just like leans over the bar, and she says, I mean, I'm kind of full, but and she's just combs her hair back, and tell me, what else do you notice? Since your eyes are just on me.
I could notice a quite deal. What would be appropriate to notice?
She kind of laughs a little bit. She laughs. Oh shit! She laughs and she puts her mug to the side, and she's like, you know what? Sure. Why don't you buy me another drink?
Okay. I flag down the barmaid, mentally saying sorry to Kaz, and buy her whatever she's having.
All right. So Alice comes over and she goes, all right, yeah. So Tanya, what did you want? And she says, the usual. I just want some spice cider. She goes, all right, okay. And what about you? I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry, you came in with the others, right?
Yeah. Maza.
Maza. All right. Nice to meet you. All right. So she goes, and did you want anything to drink?
It's an ale.
All right, you got it. She goes over to some kegs, they're like popping it, and Tanya, the half elf, kind of looks over and she says, "Just an ale, huh?"
Yeah. Don't want to be too fancy.
Ooh, yeah, too fancy. Spice cider is too fancy. Okay, all right. Well, maybe something. Sometimes you should try something new.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, might might taste better. But she says, so how did you wind up here in this little town?
I'm helping an associate of mine get back with his businessman.
Alright, gotcha. So you won't be in town for long.
No, just for the night. We're traveling to Fort Nightfall.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, I mean, sheesh. But you know, if you're going there anyway, I might as well tell you that the people there are getting a little rowdy. There's something about, they're burning those books. So it's gonna be a public event. It's happening like a couple days from now. So hey, yeah. So if you want anything to do while you're in that area, there's definitely that.
Yeah.
Alice brings over your drinks. Is like, well, here you go, ladies. She kind of as you grab your ale, she kind of holds it tight for just 1 second. She kind of makes eye contact with you, and she goes to all right. So conversations aside. All right. So. Po-jem, with your 23 investigation, you were investigating Casimir, correct?
Yes.
And what were you looking for specifically?
Well, his behavior, most of all, interests me because thus far, besides battle and drink, this is the most interested I've seen him. So I'm trying to gauge whether he is, what his interest is. Is it the goods and services she provides as a tavern employee, or is it something more of a mating sexual nature?
Hello for a second.
He seems, well, it's a little mixed, because he seems focused. He seems focused, that's for sure. Though he seems to lack some confidence. But what you do know for sure is that he is definitely interested in her goods and services.
Wink wonk.
And this is Alice in question.
Yes, he is definitely interested in Alice's goods and services. But besides the fact, it definitely looks to be something of a sexual nature, maybe romantic nature, but you don't know.
Did Alice walk away?
Well, Alice walked away to serve, other individuals, but she came back for, part of the conversation, as many of the other, the tavern's pretty much empty. Besides you guys, Tanya, Alice, and that old couple had just left. Yeah, so that's about it.
I look for a moment when Alice has kind of stepped away from people, and I'll go up to her.
Huh. All right. So she kind of looks over at you and is like, "Yeah, well."
Hello, new acquaintance, Alice. I have a few questions. Now, when we walked in, what were your initial impressions?
She's like untying her apron and just, taking it off and putting over into the side. She begins to roll down her sleeves. She says, "Is it? Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of travelers come through. I was a sailor for a little bit, for a couple of years. So I mean, I've seen a lot of people. Well, I mean, take no offense by it, but you're dressed a little funny. Pretty fancy for someone who's doing a job on the road, at least."
Well,
take a punch.
I was not planning to do this. This is merely a favor with hopefully some type of, compensation towards the end. Books aren't, and information and knowledge and especially chemicals are not cheap.
She kind of looks left and right, and she leans in towards you and she says, "Are you trying to flirt with me or something?"
Well,
I don't.
yes, but not as you think. I noticed my friend, my traveling companion, Casimir, showed perhaps a more than public interest in you. And my curiosity got the best of me. What would you think of a sexual liaison with my friend for, say, anywhere up to, I don't know, 15 minutes to an hour, perhaps? I don't know his stamina nor yours, nor your skills, but statistically, I feel that there's probably a 50-50 chance.
She puts her hands up and she's like, "All right, you have to stop right there. Are you okay, are you... You're not asking for a threesome, are you?"
Okay.
This is what it sounds like to me.
Currently, I have no need of any liaisons with anyone. Normally, my people are... Some of us are more apt to explore. It may not look like it, but I have explored plenty.
She looks back over to Casimir and back over to you, and she's like, "Okay, you're giving me a little too much information to process here, but listen, all right. I thought your friend was pretty cute to begin with. It was just, I can't do it on a shift. I gotta get off of work, but
So hypothetically, if he were to approach you and inquire about meeting after, privately, you would potentially be open to such an experience?
I'm just gonna tell you something here. If you're trying to be a wingman for your friend, it's you're making it harder for him.
A wingman? What? I do not know this term.
All right, you know what? How about this? She goes over and picks up like a mug of ale, and she says, "How about you take this? Drink some. It's good. It's gonna be good for you. Just cool off your nerves a little bit." And she walks around the other side of the bar, and she pats you on your shoulder.
I go back to Casimir and I go, "How bizarre! I put forth the notion if she would entertain meeting with you later for some private activities, but she seemed confused, perhaps."
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so Alice would actually approach you guys, and looking over to you, Casimir, and she says, "It's like, hey, Casimir, right? Yeah. Did you want to talk to me about something?"
Ooh, a gentleman.
Please forgive me. I absolutely did not put him up to this. I hope you can excuse this vile harassment.
Is that what he sounds like?
That's this evening's, just for...
Speak and spell.
I am recording this, so some of this I want to capture.
No. Oh no.
Alice says, she says, well,
I meant no harm, but you are exceedingly charming. and I admit to being smitten with you. And I'm like, I was right!
Make a persuasion check, Casimir.
What are you doing?
Or performance, your choice.
Oh.
Well, they're the same, so
Yeah, how well do you perform? Come on.
he's not really asking for me.
That's better than decent.
Wow.
He's not really
Okay.
charming, so
So she so as you say this, she says she's oh man, looking out the window. She says, oh, you know, the sun's almost set. I should probably head back home.
Ah!
But
Man.
she looks at you, Casimir, and she looks at you, Casimir, and she says, "Is like, but hey, you know what? I'm cooking dinner at home. So if you wanna come around, you know, before night falls, I'd be okay with that."
Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
So is that a maybe?
I'm looking at Casimir intent, like he's silent, and I'm just like, okay, what is he thinking? Is this a warrior stance? I would be happy too. You are most generous.
Alright. So she's kind of like, all right. She tells you that she lives actually if you leave the square and go, yeah, if you leave the square, you make a right on the street. She lives on the very last house near the edge of town.
I'm just giving me her real address.
But she kind of gets up and she's like, well, you know, whatever, and she kind of hurries out the door. So it's up to you, Casimir, if you want to leave immediately or wait a little bit. But nightfall will come.
Po-jem is just watching Casimir and is just like, will he leave immediately? I'm not saying nothing. I'm just like, I'm just in full, like, I'm like studying something in the lab, just like, what is it going to do next?
Casimir deadpans to you, Po-jem.
Don't ever pull that shit again, or I won't hesitate.
Oh, there he goes.
And he leaves out the door with something of a we'll say a passionate run, passionate skip in his step.
Please take notes.
Oh my.
Alright, okay. So with that, Casimir leaves. As he does, Tanya's sitting at the bar. She looks over to she looks over to you. Drink half finished, and she says, you know what? I'm probably gonna head up to my room too. This is Fred's a little strange.
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a cue from Alice's book and probably head up to my room. Yeah, she starts getting up.
If I may be so bold, may I join you?
She stretches a little bit and like kind of ropes the back of her neck, and she says, I don't
Dad.
know.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's, room 16 is a little
Yeah.
far
Thank you.
down the hall. If you think you can walk it, then why not?
Oh, I think I can walk it when I flex a little bit.
Oh, Okay, I took it out.
She says,
I took it to the trash bin.
she gets up as she leaves, and she heads up the stairs that lead onto the
Spell
second.
hamburger dead.
I follow her. Let's go.
All right.
Not even paying any attention to my companion left or Po-jem, just standing there. I just go.
Amazing. Okay. So you guys head off in your directions. Po-jem, is there anything you would like to do?
Po-jem will look at where
I'll describe it to you. So, Po-jem, as you yell out to Casimir to take some notes, you kind of stare off in distance, get some helpful scientific research out of this. And as you turn around, you notice that the bar is closed, the lights have dimmed, the kitchen is locked. You are the only one in the tavern at the bar, and you have a full mug of ale in your hands. And you sit there. What is it you do next?
The room is totally empty.
Yeah, pretty much.
I pull out my For a second, I will pull out what I left home with and just kind of stare into it.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So you stare into it, and it's a mesmerizing view. It's just almost something out of a dream, something of fiction, the impossible, which is usually not something you delve into, but this feels more than that, a bit more physical. What this thing shows you is just great depth and expanse. Everything about it seems magical yet scientific. You spend most of your night like this until you decide to retire up to your room and go to sleep. Everyone seems to rest very well for the night, though they don't get too much sleep, at least for half the party. And with that, we're gonna call it a game. That's what we're gonna end for tonight.
What an ending.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was well fun.
All right, awesome. So that was definitely a hell of a way to end the session. I did not expect to end there, but it definitely happened. Ooh. I honestly thought I was really rooting for you guys there, you know. Casimir especially with the roll he had to make. Man, but you rolled pretty high, but there. All right. So just like at the end of every session that we're gonna do, we're going to pick out somebody for the plot points for tonight. So kind of going around the Discord chat.
Wait, what is that again?
So the plot points, basically the way that works is that at the end of every session, we're gonna vote for somebody that we thought did the best role playing, and or we thought was the most fun to hear, how they go about the session. We vote for them, and whoever gets the plot point. Basically, what you can do with the plot point is at any point in the game or outside the game, you can say that, hey show, hey dungeon master, hey DM, I want to use the plot point, and you tell me how. You can use the plot point in any way you'd like to change whatever's happening at that moment. For example, Casimir, when those wolves came up, you could have used the plot points to say that maybe you were able to convince the wolves to take a certain course of action, or Maza, you could have used a plot point to possibly say, a monster appears in the night. Maybe you don't fight it exactly, but something happens there. It's something to further the story a little bit, make things a little bit more interesting. Use plot points to get out of trouble, make something interesting happen. So on and so forth. You can't use it exactly to find loot, magical items and whatnot, but you can definitely use it for further your own ends if need be. Right. So so it's basically literally anything you can imagine, but it definitely has to be okayed by the group if you use it in the middle of a session. For example, Maza, if you wanted to fight a monster during your midnight shift, the group would definitely have to be like, well, do we really want this to happen?
Yes, obviously.
But if it's outside the game, you wanna privately chat with me, message with me, Casimir, Po-jem, if anyone wants to be like, hey, would this work if I use a platform with this or with that? If you want to use it for something secret you don't want the rest of the group to know about, that's definitely possible as well. And we could talk about that a little bit more in depth if you'd like. But yeah, so going around, let's start with Po-jem. Shiri. Who did you think did a pretty good job role playing or otherwise during the session?
That's a tough one. You guys are both on point. And I don't know.
Hey, Dad, what is this drink you gave me? What is this drink you gave me? It tastes like sour worms.
What?
It tastes like sour worms.
Beautiful. So Po-jem, is there? Do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me.
Oh, sure. Maza. Just, if you could nominate anyone.
Oh, there were so many great moments, though. I'd say I have to give it to Po-jem for that whole very uncomfortable talk with Alice. That was wonderful to hear. Hope he gets lots of scientific data from that. Yeah, I'd give it to Po-jem.
Alright, okay. Po-jem, you got one there. Casimir, or Tapioca. Oh, if there was anyone here you could nominate. Well, you just gonna mention, who do you think, who did you really like, how they role played?
Yeah, I mean, I like everyone's pick.
Well, I mean, if you could give an example of something that happened. Tavern scene. Awesome. Okay. Po-jem, it's on you. And, Fury, or Po-jem.
If I could, I would give it to them both. I think they did great tonight. Sweet Lord. I love the wolf. I have to that wolf moment stuck out to me a lot because classically, in D&D, there's a camp and you're camping for the night. Wolves show up. It's a fight, and that was just kind of a beautiful, intense, quiet moment, that was very cinematic in my mind. So,
and actually, I definitely intended it to be that, but well, Casimir was able to diffuse a very, a hairy situation. Yes. All right.
That's...
I appreciate you caught that.
So.
All right. So actually, I would say in general, probably my favorite scene out of this, even though the tavern's pretty nice, that was pretty excellent work, everybody. But I enjoyed the scene with the merchant actually. Po-jem. I want to say that scene you had with Umar Khayyam. You know, just asking, where he was from, because usually you really don't have to do that. You could have just, oh, who are you guys? What kind of stuff do you sell? And just left it like that. But I really thought it was interesting, the conversation you carried out with him, which I appreciate, because I'm doing a lot of background work that honestly you guys would probably never see. For Skarsky, or Sam, I think you preferred us to call.
Yeah, it's just a mouthful, and it's...
Yeah, fine. All right, but actually, I really liked as great as your interaction with Tanya was. I really liked that moment you had with Farron, when you noticed that she was having something of like a night terror or a nightmare. Because for a second there, I thought you were just gonna wait for it to go over and then leave it at that.
I don't know. They're always the worst, and they're always better to wake people up. And yeah. Mazo's not the type of person who just let someone suffer.
Oh no, but she's definitely the type of person to punch a guard in the face. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Not someone she is traveling with, at least. Gotcha. Doesn't like someone, they're dead. Sorry.
and Tapioca as Casimir, even though unfortunately, most of your interactions had to be done through text, it actually ended up going through a lot smoother than I thought. But the tavern scene had probably been my favorite for your roleplay so far. That was definitely a good one. Walk into the club, just any cute girls in here? Yeah. So Tapioca, that question about what happened in the tavern with Po-jem and whatever it had, you never saw that happen. So that's not going to be explained to you. All right. So Bashiri, you're gonna pick up a plot point there. You didn't have a plot point already, did you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, all right. So you can keep that second plot point, or at your own discretion, you could choose to give it away to another player if you'd like. That's up to you. You can message them privately if you would like.
No, let me just say this right now. I do accept bribes. Accolades. Always, juice my ego. I love that. But yeah, if anybody has if all of a sudden you think of something that would just...
Yeah, I was about to say research notes.
If you all of a sudden think of something for the game that you think will just take us on a beautifully interesting path, or will, inform something already within the game, let me know, and we'll talk about it. I may have a plot point for you.
Alright, yes. What is your question, Tapioca? Which actually, like, one of my favorite types of pudding. Like, I fucking love tapioca. Chocolate's okay. It's okay. Like, chocolate's good, but, like, everyone loves chocolate pudding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm sorry. Anyway,
chocolate pudding is amazing.
What did Alice make for dinner?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wow, you're really stretching me thin here.
Sorry.
What did Alice make? No, don't apologize.
Remember, we're on the river, and there's, I think, some little area for some...
After that little excursion, she probably tried to start dinner, but it probably didn't get as far.
She made burnt.
So, when you ask what did Alice make for dinner, you should probably be asking what did Casimir eat for dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, oh shit!
Alright. But yeah, okay.
That pussy.
Alright. So with all that,
That's okay.
so unfortunately we did have to miss out on Wiki, but she's with family, so hopefully she's having fun.
Yeah.
She's having fun on her own time. I would definitely like to see where that would have been going, though. You know, with her having a nightmare and all. But okay, with that, we're gonna have to call it a night. Everyone have a good night, and hopefully we'll pick this up next week, and not 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. You have a great week. And I'll talk to you guys on Sunday.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Have a nice one.
See ya.
It was a blast.